you having some trouble showing emotion in your essays? A lot of students have reached out to me or just told me that they're having trouble showing emotion in their essays or talking about their feelings. This is a common difficulty when writing college essays, but it can't be solved with just inserting, like, "I was sad" in your college essay. There's so much more depth you can discover about yourself. So today, I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence in college essays. What's up guys, I'm Dyllen. I am a Stanford student who makes college application videos, and today I'm going to teach you how to take your essay a step further and dig deeper. Listen up, in today's video I'm going to open your eyes. You might have a realization about yourself or about society that you didn't necessarily think about before. The main thing you need to realize is that the college essay is not just a college essay, it's a journey towards self-discovery. I know, crazy, right? How could that be? But you are literally writing about yourself and your life and things that really mean stuff to you. It's requiring you to look inward and evaluate who you are, your upbringing, your insecurities, or your aspirations and passions. And this process of writing a college essay might unearth some feelings that may be difficult to deal with. So I'm going to teach you how to level up that essay with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the capability to recognize your own emotions and manage them effectively. Colleges really look for students who have both intellectual vitality and emotional intelligence. By being able to dig down and identify your hidden meanings or unconscious motives, or the root of all your problems and insecurities, you will convey to the admissions officer that you have maturity. So when writing the college essay, you kind of gotta psychoanalyze yourself. I've come up with 7 different scenarios that I keep seeing being played out over and over through college essays and kind of through life, since college essays are about life, and they kind of relate to movies and TV shows as well, because ultimately it's just the way that humans are. So here are 7 different scenarios and I will provide examples for each one. Number 1, you try to put a metaphorical band-aid on a problem rather than attacking it head on. This is like a temporary solution. For example, you didn't want to confront a broken relationship and deal with all of that, so instead you distract yourself by getting involved in so many clubs and activities and hard academics, but by making yourself super busy, you get more stressed, and that doesn't help the root of the problem, which is dealing with that broken friendship. Number 2, you think the problem is one thing, but it's actually some underlying insecurity. For example, you don't participate or raise your hand in math class because you feel like you're not good at math and you don't know any of the answers. But maybe in reality, it's just the fact that you fear judgment and you don't want to be wrong. You may actually have the right answer and be good at math, but you just need to be able to believe in yourself, not care what other people think, and not care whether you're right or you're wrong. And maybe another thing to that is admitting failure, being comfortable with admitting when you are wrong. Number 3, your outward persona doesn't truly reflect who you are on the inside. This may be because you're trying to fit into some sort of societal norm, like you have an image of your head of who you're supposed to be, or you're dealing with some parent or family expectations and pressures. I have 2 examples for this one. The first one is, your parents put a lot of pressure on you to be an engineer, when in reality, you really want to be a writer, and that's the true thing you're passionate about. Another example, you try to dress and act like all the popular girls in high school because you don't want to seem like an outcast. But this is preventing you from expressing yourself in the way that truly reflects who you are. Number 4, maybe there's something that you held onto or weren't willing to let go because it represented something even bigger. For example, you didn't want to clean out the room of a family member who passed away because you weren't ready to let go or come to terms with their passing. Number 5, you acted in a negative way towards someone or towards some situation because you weren't able to accept a certain reality. For example, you took out your aggression on your mom because you thought she was just being annoying, but in reality you couldn't accept the fact that you had a new stepdad. Number 6, and I see this one a lot in college essays, you realize that what you're doing is only making others feel good, but it does not bring you genuine happiness. For example, you spend all your time and energy into a specific sport that you no longer are interested in or care to participate in, and you end up realizing that your true passion lies in the arts. And number 7, maybe the way that you handled a certain situation was reflected by the way you were raised or the culture you grew up in. For example, if you were raised in a household where it was looked down upon for girls to vocalize their opinions, maybe that's why you tended to hold yourself back from expressing yourself even when you witnessed something that was unjust. Alright, so those are the different types of scenarios, and I'm sure there are so many more that you could write about, but it shows emotional intelligence if you are able to identify this within the problem or situation that you are experiencing, and then be able to fix or improve that problem by addressing it from the root rather than the surface. Does this sound a lot like your characters you watch in your TV shows and movies? Yeah, it does. It's about character arcs, you know? You're forming a story within your college essay to show how you've grown. It's all about that personal growth. Now that was one step to taking your essay even further, but I'm gonna give you 2 more steps in this video. So maybe after you identified that problem that you were experiencing, how does that actually represent the societal problem at large? Because most likely you aren't the only one dealing with this problem. Ask yourself, what is the overarching issue within our society or culture as a whole? Maybe it's certain stigmas, like the stigma around mental health. Maybe it's about racial bias. Maybe it's about inequities in education, in healthcare, or the income disparity, or political polarization, or societal gender norms. A lot of times the problems we deal with stem from the way we were raised and the world that we grew up in. Alright, so after you identify all of those problems and everything that's going on, you need to address them. So then in the essay, you would share the actions that you took, the steps that you took to address those problems. And that could either be addressing the problem within yourself and that's it, or it could be the broader problem in the whole scope of society. Now here's the thing, here's the third thing I want to talk about. I love when I'm reading an essay and I think it's just gonna end somewhere, like I think here's the problem and then here's a solution, yay, everything's done. But then it takes a step further and explains how they applied what they learned to other situations to help themselves in their life, and or to help other people develop that skill and learn that same life lesson. Okay, so for example, instead of your essay being about you being scared to speak up in class, but then you worked through it and then now you're confident. That's all great, but how can you take it a step further? Well, maybe you use that confidence to help you in other pursuits in your life. Maybe it's not just in class, but in other activities, the way you handle conversations, the way you meet new people and talk with people and connect with people. And maybe now you're teaching other kids and other people how to undergo that same journey. This could be something like, oh, now I teach a kids improv class, or it could be something smaller, like you just having conversations and teaching these ideals to your younger siblings. Admissions officers love to see how you used a specific skill or lesson you learned to apply it to other areas of life, or to help people who are also going through the same situation. Now, one thing I want to mention is, yeah, this can make your essay get pretty long, and that 650 word count is not always enough to share your whole story, or 350 word count, or 250 word count, you know, whatever the size you're dealing with. I mostly see these types of essays structured in 2 different ways. You can make most of the essay about your personal journey and your story, and then at the end be like, oh, I have this new project, or I'm doing this new thing to help other people. Or you could have only the anecdote and the little beginning part of your essay be about your own story, and then the rest of it is about that project or your initiative or some sort of campaign or whatever to help others achieve the same thing. Or the rest of the essay is about how you applied it to other parts of your life. Woof, so this is all pretty deep and kind of requires you to do a lot of internal, emotional, reflective work on your own self. So how do you do that? I recommend writing it down, writing these ideas down. Just have a document where you brainstorm all this stuff as you try to uncover your hidden motives or insecurities or all of those things. Now, if you are looking for something a little bit more structured, I do have a college essay online course that walks you through every step of the writing process. From brainstorming, to picking your topic, to structuring your topic, to writing your essay, to revising your essay, and then having the final draft. You can find all of my college app resources and my essay editing services and mentorship services if you want to meet with me over Zoom at dylennellis.com/collegeapps. Also, all the links are in the description, as always, yeah. So I really hope this video helped you understand a little bit more about yourself, about society, I guess, and how to write the college essay. Emotional intelligence is so powerful and will really stand out to the colleges who are reading over your essay. So keep working on it, I believe in you, and I will see you all in the next video. Shut up, dog.